everyone, welcome back to Demi's new location. So today I'm actually, I guess, gonna do like an impromptu video. I never expected to talk about cheerleading on here, but the other day I threw a standing talk for the first time in like, my god, years, and it brought back a lot of memories of cheerleading. I mean, I was a cheerleader for 10 years, did competitive cheerleading for 10 years, and it was a huge part of my life. So I started cheerleading in about 3rd grade and cheered all the way until senior year of high school. And like over time I realized that cheerleading really became my family. And I mean, if you've ever played any sport like growing up and in high school, then I'm sure that resonates with you. You spend so much time with these people, and like, you know, you cry, you laugh, like you get freaking pissed, and like you experience all the emotions that you feel with family, you know, with these sports teams, especially if you're like with the same people year after year after year. So like looking back, like, man, cheerleading really like grew me as a person. When I was in middle school, I was actually like bullied kind of hard. There was this group that my cheerleading team had started about me, and like a bunch of other people had joined in this group, and it was called the Anti-Bitch Club, and I guess I was the bitch. And so it's just like this club against me, and this was like the time during AIM, so like people used to have on their AIM like away messages like, I'm a proud member of the Anti-Bitch Club. And I remember like my crush had it at the bottom of this AIM like away message one time, and I was so upset. And but man, that's just funny times. But I was also very feisty in middle school, like honestly a completely different person than I am now. Like, yeah, I probably was a bitch, not gonna lie. I just had a lot of attitude, Puerto Rican and Italian, you know, she got fire in the blood. But I just remember like during that time in middle school, like I had a few close friends, and then not much more outside of that. But I remember like going into the locker room like before one practice and like standing on top of a bench and just kind of like chewed everyone out about the Anti-Bitch Club. Not proud of it, but like I said, cheerleading helped me grow, and that theme is just gonna be like throughout this video. And so there was actually like a lot of people that I used to cheer with that did not like me like at all. And like I remember people used to drop me on purpose. Like imagine being thrown 10 feet up in the air and people just watching you fall like smack dab on the floor. Like it would be in like a gymnasium, so like a basketball court with like a thin cheerleading mat, and being thrown up so high just to land flat on your back, like, and get the wind knocked out of you, and like not be able to breathe, and just see stars everywhere and no one really give a shit about you. Like that like has a big like effect on, I don't know, your like well-being and like mental state and physical body too. Like falling from that high and that sort of impact on like a child's body that's growing, like that's not good. But then, you know, after I transferred to my second high school, it was completely different, like a whole new world. Like people loved and cared about me so much. Like people would literally fall on their backs to make sure that I didn't hit the ground. Like shout out to you, Alexis, I'm sorry for all the times you got my butt to your face. But thank you, I appreciate you forever. And like it was just really cool to see like the transformation of like there's people that will always, you know, be jealous of you. Well, maybe not always be jealous of you, but like there's times where people could be jealous of you and like project like their like insecurities and fears on you. And that was like the world that I lived in cheerleading for so long, of just like an oh my god, like I am from a small town in Connecticut, and so like Connecticut's kind of notorious for like having people that don't leave the town. So like it's a lot of like, I don't know, like parents went to the high school, had kids, never left, and then their kids went to the high school and parents live vicariously through their children. I mean, that's just small town bullshit. I hear that all the time from like small towns all around. It's not just in Connecticut, you know, like that's everywhere. But like the moms honestly were like worse sometimes, like being bullied by a grown woman. Like I remember when I transferred to my second high school, and I like told my cheerleading coach at the time, because I was transferring to like a rival high school, and she literally like took me into this small room. It was like before a basketball game. She took me into this small room and like chewed me out about transferring, and I was literally like 15 years old, and this like 50-year-old woman is just like, it was just, I don't know, it was something else. But yeah, it was really interesting to see just the shift of like loving the sport so much but not having the people around you support you. Like that was my life for a really long time, and then like still like loving the sport so much and then having people there to support you and to catch you and to be there for you and to like offer their homes for you when you were like really lonely, and offer their families meals to you when you couldn't find anything to eat. Like that shit like means so much to me, like to this day. Like I just will always be so grateful for the relationships that I have built. And honestly, like cheerleading has, and like my team towards the later half of my cheerleading career has like such a huge place in my heart, because like they really did become like my full family. Like growing up, I had just, you know, an interesting childhood. If you're a child of divorce and have gone through divorce court, then I mean, I'm sure you can understand what I'm talking about. Being from a broken family, it's really different than, you know, having everyone under one roof. So it was really nice to have people that cared about me so much on my team, like through like the last few years of high school. I remember like I used to like pay for McDonald's in like quarters, you know, and like that would be my dinner. And there would be so many times where people on my cheerleading team would like bring me plates of dinner from like their family dinner, because like they knew that maybe that day I wasn't getting as much food as like I needed. And like I remember my coach like literally bought me multiple different types of vitamins, because like times were tough at times, and it was really nice to always have people there that like really cared about me. And like I don't know, it's just really comforting to know that and to create that bond with so many people, and that's really awesome. And I mean, like there was also like a time like man, so I was a little bit of a wild child in high school, and like I almost got kicked off of my cheerleading team one time just from like doing stupid things that I shouldn't have been doing. And like it like people would always just hold me accountable for my actions, because like there was a period of my life like in high school and growing up where like I didn't have structure in my life, and the only structure that I had was through cheerleading. So like having someone there to hold you accountable when there was no one else, like it just really leaves an impact on a person, you know. And so yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about today, just because I was really reminiscing the other day when I threw my standing tuck, and like because it really is like that for me was like getting over my fear, and that was a huge lesson that I had to learn through cheerleading. Like I constantly had to get over my fear. There was so many times like I would have like little rituals like with my friends that we would do before like hitting the mat, before the competition. Like cheerleading's it's really interesting. The Netflix documentary on Netflix about cheerleading called Cheer, they touched upon like the different rituals that cheerleaders do. And like I mean, we did that before every competition. I remember at my high school, like we used to like do this like walk and dance and 1, 2, go into the chapel and like walking to the chapel, and like, you know, there was just a bunch of different rituals that we used to do, and that was honestly, like, now, like, saying that out loud, that was like probably like my first experience with, like, I don't know, doing like rituals to help like align you with your highest self so that you can perform at your best. And like, I mean, that's what I do now. Like, my rituals are no longer like doing cheetah claws with Emily. It's more so like waking up and meditating and doing some yoga and journaling. But like, just life lessons, man. I don't know, it's really cool. And I miss my friends from back home. And if you're watching, hello, I love you so much. I appreciate you and your family and everything that you have done for me for so many years. Like, that shit means the world to me, and that's all I wanted to talk about today. See ya!